Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War. And today we have the class event, Orbweaver. Middle of the road class. Nothing you should be spending a bunch of gems on for the event. And we also have a new, buffs and nerfs on some troops that I wanted to read to y'all. They kinda didn't even put it out. This is called a naughty and nice troop balance. Sorry, still learning how to talk today. I don't know what's going on. But you'll see my Orbweaver class event team here. I kind of tweak it as I go. At first I had Tiri there, but then I changed it to Dark Maiden. I got Mountain Crusher, the Widow Queen, Tiri, Malcandessa. So what I'm doing with this team here is the Widow Queen will deal damage to all enemies based on someone's life that it kills. So I was just using the Widow Queen to kill my hero and just wiping the other team completely out. Malcandessa starts empowered and converts yellow to green, and the Widow Queen uses green. So that was working pretty well. I wasn't using Tiri, so I switched out Tiri for Dark Maiden. Dark Maiden gives life to the first ally or something, and changes whatever color you want to green, I think. Or no, it changes yellow to whatever color you want. So, kind of a conflict of interest there with Malcandessa, but also giving life to your first ally, which helps the Widow Queen. So, maybe not the perfect team, and towards the end it wasn't one-shotting anymore. Like the last two sets of enemies, I don't think it was one-shotting, but it was getting pretty close on the second to last set. But the very last set I had to definitely cast it twice. Using life medals or magic medals, I don't think it matters too much, but I think life medals would be the one you're supposed to use. And yeah, worked really good. Let's say there's 7 or 8 sets you have to go through. It's probably less than that. Probably 6 sets you have to go through. The first 4, it completely wiped in one shot, as long as you pick your hero as the one you sacrifice. Because your hero usually has the most life. So, just get the Widow Queen up, cast Malcandessa. Most of the time we'll get Widow Queen up. And then you just cast the Widow Queen on your hero, and you wipe the other team. So, pretty good team all the way up until the end. Maybe you can find a way to tweak it so it's good the whole way through. Maybe you use 2 the Widow Queens. Maybe you make sure to cast the Dark Maiden before you cast the Widow Queen. I don't know. Maybe you can find a weapon that ups your life. I just wasn't messing with it. I used Mountain Crusher. But you could find probably a weapon that would up your life pretty quickly, which would also help with the Widow Queen's damage. So, little theory here, a team theory for you, and maybe not totally tweaked to be perfect. So, the Widow Queen, sacrificing your hero who has the most life and wiping the other team. Malcandessa, empowered, making that green for the Widow Queen. Everything else is up for debate. The class, the weapon, the 4th troop, whether it's Dark Maiden or Tiri or whoever. I settled on the Dark Maiden. All up for debate. But I think the Widow Queen, Malcandessa, and sacrificing some troop with high life to wipe the other team is the way to go. Anyway, here is the naughty and nice troop balance. So let's go ahead and get started on that. The dev teams made a list, and we've gone and checked it twice. We found some troops and weapons who've been naughty or been nice. The nice troops got some buffs to help them rise and shine, but the naughty troops got nerfed to help bring them back in line. Alright, here are the nice troops. Death. Base damage increased from 15 to 25. Mana cost reduced from 24 to 20. War. Mana cost reduced from 22 to 20. Plague. Mana cost reduced from 22 to 20. So they pretty much helped out all of the Apocalypse mythics except for Famine. Which those are all the bad ones, so nothing there looks... That all looks fine. That looks good. T&E, mana cost reduced from 24 to 20. Base damage increased from 7 to 15. Champion of Anus. Mana cost reduced from 24 to 22. Champion of Guard, mana cost reduced from 24 to 20. Elamagrim, gems created increased from 8 to 9. Ishtara, gems created increased from 8 to 9. Wow, I was already kind of liking Ishtara. Now she does even more. Stonehammer, mana cost reduced from 24 to 22. Gloomleaf, mana cost reduced from 16 to 14. Attack steal increased from 4 to 5. Borealis, mana cost reduced from 16 to 14. Base damage increased from 8 to 18. Spell now targets the weakest enemy. Now gains magic at levels 13, 16, and 18. Carnex, spell will now create 5 skulls before it explodes skulls. Armor gain now scales off 1.5 magic. Urskula, mana cost reduced from 16 to 15. Attack buff increased from 5 to 6. Vanaxia, true damage now scales off magic. Spell no longer gives attack. Shadow Dragon, boost ratio increased from 2 to 1 to ×3. So here's some troops you may want to be messing with over the holiday weekend to see if you can maybe make some good teams out of them, because they've all been buffed. So we have Death, War, Plague, Tian Yi, Champion of Anu, Champion of Guard, Elamagrim, Ishtara, Stonehammer, Gloomleaf, Borealis, Carnex, Urskula, Vanaxia, and Shadow Dragon. And it sounds like Borealis got 4 different buffs. So Borealis and Ishtara were 2 that like jumped out to me. Maybe even Carnex. But yeah. Naughty troops. King GOBTRUFFLE. Here's the ones that they nerfed. King GOBTRUFFLE. King GOBTRUFFLE. Mana cost increased from 17 to 18. Number of mixed gems created reduced from 16 to 14. So, what I see here is they didn't do anything to Queen Beatrix, but they nerfed King GOBTRUFFLE. So maybe that just makes Queen Beatrix more viable. They didn't totally nerf the crap out of him, but they made his mana cost up 1 and reduced his number of mixed gems down 2. Bandit, mana cost increased from 8 to 11. Guess for all those backups that were coming in. So now harder to get his mana, which his spell wasn't really that big of a deal anyway. I don't know what that one is. Life and Death, mana cost increased from 15 to 18. Life and Death. Increased by 3 mana. Skeleton Key. This is probably the biggest one besides King GOBTRUFFLE. Mana cost increased from 14 to 15. Boost ratio reduced from 2 to 1 to 3 to 1. So I don't know how bad that's going to kill your Skeleton Key. I see a lot of people complaining about it. But they also said you can just move to Blunder and Peril. Instead of using Skeleton Key now, use Blunder and Peril. That's the, I think, Corsair class weapon, so you can get it for free with 250 victories. Jar of Eyes. It says Jar or Eyes here, of course, because they're awesome, and they always do typos. So great job, Gems of War. You need an editor really bad. Jar or Eyes, or, not of, or, Jar or Eyes. Jar or Ice. Mana cost increased from 14 to 16. So what I see there, King GOBTRUFFLE got a nerf. Skeleton Key got a nerf. Life and Death got a nerf. And Jar or Eyes got a nerf. Bandit, I don't really care. The rest of them are pretty meta things that may no longer be meta. Fixes and changes. We have fixed an issue where the familiar trait and the backup talent could trigger more than intended. We have fixed Warhawk's spells that it will earn the extra turn even if the enemy dies. We have fixed Domovoy's spell so he will give positive status effects to allies. We have fixed Matron Valine so she boosts off cursed enemies correctly. They also offer refunds for King GOBTRUFFLE and Bandit, and no refunds for weapons. Let's see what people are saying. This person says, hate it. This person says, finally, backup is fixed. This person says, when was the last time we had a refund for any troop? And then Salty says, the last time we did balance changes. This person says, love most of it, but L&D needs more. Need to remove the bless. The skeleton key is a shame for newer players, but blunder and peril unchanged, so an easy swap. This person says, very curious assortment of troops buffed. Not what I expected, since they are less used troops, mythics, in worse shape than these. Elamagrim, Stonehammer, and Carnix were already pretty strong and fairly widely used. Interesting to see those here. T&E was already strong but not used much before. This could bring him into the light. Truffle nerf makes me sad, but honestly it was deserved. Bandit nerfed, hysterical. I consider L&D change a correction and not a nerf. This is the appropriate mana cost to align with other weapons of this power. Very strange to not see some of the troops' weapons just as powerful as Truffle on this list. I wonder how the devs go about deciding balance changes. This person said, I like this, and they're talking about the familiar trait and backup talent. Still good to see some effort being put towards troop rebalancing. It's been too long. This person said, this is a good start. Some of the nerfs will hurt players, but they were a bit OP. And there's way too much to read here. So if you want to see the rest of the thread, which has a ton, it has like 84 comments on it. It's naughty and nice troop balance on Gems of War forum. You might have to go to like halfway down the page. It's been out for a day. And yeah. So what I think is, I like the way they're buffing troops that no one uses. That way maybe we can start using them, like Death, War, and Plague. I think the ones that popped out to me were Ishtara and Borealis and Carnix, kind of. And then the nerfed troops, King GOBTRUFFLE, Skeleton Key, were the two that jumped out at me that we may not be using anymore because they got nerfed, but we'll see. And then they fixed some things. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Go check it out on the Gems of War forum if you want to read the rest of it. And put your thoughts below in the comments. And here's your team for the Orbweaver class of it. Sorry it uses a legendary, but it was working really well. And I could have switched out of it towards the end, but I'm just doing the free battles. I'm not putting too much thought into it. The Widow Queen, the Widow Queen, the Widow Queen, Malcandessa, and everything else is up for debate. I think Dark Maiden is a pretty good choice because it buffs life, which will help the Widow Queen do more damage. Maybe you should move Dark Maiden in front of the Widow Queen. I don't know. And then the weapon I used, I don't think is the best. You could probably find a better weapon. The class I used was Warden, just for the Green Storm. And yeah, so the weapon, the 4th troop, the class, you could probably mess around with all of that stuff. But if not, hey, this worked pretty good, and it was wiping the other team at least through the first four sets of enemies, and it wasn't that hard after that either. So just do your free battles today. Go mess with some of those troops I mentioned. And yeah, have a good Christmas. It's Christmas Eve right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do for tomorrow, guys. Like, I've done a video every single day for the last like 4 or 5 months, so I have to do a video tomorrow, right? I just don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to get up like really early, just do a quick vault video, and that's just gonna have to be fine. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to do one tomorrow, but if I miss any day, it's gonna be tomorrow because it's Christmas. So I don't know. I want to keep my streak going though. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. We need that 30 Stephen Curry again. We got it. We went above and beyond it, and then we took a lot of casualties because it's Christmas time, I think. So let's get that 30 Stephen Curry again. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. Comment below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.